Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Haven't been on a few days and I've missed you. Just been crazy. I have construction going on. And, the one thing that I did not want to do was live in a house that I had to do construction. And of course, I'm doing exactly what I didn't want to do. That is always the way, isn't it? Right? We feel like we always get what we don't want a lot of times, especially in a relationship. So I like to look at the shadows. I like to look at the shadows because that tells us why we manifest what we manifest. And if we understand how we contribute to how we're manifesting, the imbalances within the situations, we're able to change. We're able to shape shift our situation. If there's many different realities that play it at one time, why would I want to live a reality that takes me further away from my happiness, my truth? My truth is to be unconditional love. That's the same energy as the universe. Did you know that you are made up of the stars and the sun? There's no separation between you and the universe, you and your creator. That's why crystals work for us, right? I have here three crystals I was called to bring out today. And I don't know what the theme is going to be, but we're going to find out because obsidian, that's grounding. Amethyst, well, that's that crown chakra. And citrine, the solar plexus. So this is being grounded, but being protected, being led by gut, intuition, inner knowing, and waiting for divine connection. And that is just ESP through the heart and mind, and claircognizance, which is, I don't know how I knew that, but I know that. So whoever's watching, you have those capabilities, and it's also to strengthen those capabilities. Why? Because again, we can have spiritual gifts, but be stressed out in an environment and feel like we don't have them. So the way that you would do that is through, grounding, getting a better connection to the physical body, getting a better connection to the physical world. So that would be networking. And like I said, it's all about trusting yourself and training your nervous system, because everyone gets intuition. It comes on randomly when we're not thinking about what it is that we're trying to figure out. So Spirit's saying it's about trusting yourself. Like I said, I don't know what the theme is going to be, but we were called to do this today. We're going to clear your energy. See, sounds and crystals, they resonate with our chakras. So the higher chakras open up your third eye and your crown chakra. So just tuning forks. Now, I normally use the hammer, but I like to use them together like that. So you can hear it. And those higher realms connect you to the astral realm, to your descended masters, your archangels, your spirit guides. Again, that you're always protected. You're always protected because spirit's inside of you. So let's start off and with the word of the video. For those of you that don't know, the word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. It's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. Oh, by the way, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box, including my Otter Spirit bracelets. You get 15% off. These are crystal bracelets. So I believe that crystals work. I believe that crystals help align your energy, because they vibrate at a certain frequency, but they also help you with intention. And they mean something. So when you're wearing them, It reminds you to do what the intention is. It's like medicine, spiritual medicine. And how do you manifest? Through the thoughts that you think, the emotions that you have. So do crystals work? Yes. But do they work more if you don't believe? No. And that's the thing. Are they evil? No. They're stones. They're not evil. Okay. So the word of the video is determination. That's the underlining energy. The underlining energy is determination. And I feel like you're connected to someone that is determined to get to you, but you're determined to have your success. I feel like you got to a point with this where you're not even, when you let go of this person, they felt it. And that's the underlining energy. So everyone is determined, but your motivation is not this person. And it's almost like once you let go, and I feel like you let go because, hey, you're like, I can see a better future. I can see something. So this is the underlining energy in this person that is normally an avoidant. Well, hell, you just took your energy back and now you triggered their abandonment. And that's why they are determined to come back. But there is love. And we're going to see why I felt that. And that would also explain a lot about why, you would have to be grounded, why you would have to trust yourself, meaning to that gut, that intuition. Only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut, intuition, and knowing. And you get that divine guidance through that. I don't know how I know, because hey, while you're on your path, determined to make something happen, this person's going to try and come back. So, yep. Like I said, like this person's going to try to come back and like to fix, it says purify, but really they know that you don't want to give your time. So they're going to try and draw you out of yourself. Like you might have been in hiding. If you're trying to create something, you might be perceived as being in hiding just because you're not announcing what you're doing. So we see again what this person feels right now is a lot of different things. Please don't give up on me. I'm trying to change, but it takes time. But they're triggered. And their old patterns are surfacing, and old hurts are what's happening with this person. Possibly because, again, like you let go of the energy. This person does think that you're beautiful inside and out, and that they've been learning a lot about twin flame energy. And it feels right to them, but they know that both you and them are not being honest, where this person isn't showing their feelings. And what their feeling is that, that they long for you. So there is this energy. This person says they feel the chemistry between you, but they also know that you need to elevate that energy. And that they have to, like, you have major trust issues with them now. And I think that they just had major trust issues. So let's see what they did. Because I just jumped into wanting to see what they did, like what brought you together. Not really like why this person hasn't come into your life. I know why they haven't come back. It's because they're afraid you're someone that is very direct. Like you don't beat around the bush. You're someone that's very strong. I don't think that this person is really ever, it's not that they never dealt with a strong person, but that's not normally the type. And that's why the relationships don't really work out. So it's like you're someone that's going to say something. You're going to tell them, like, you might tell them off. You might tell them, like, that you don't respect them. And, also understand that it's for this connection, you disconnecting from them is making them look at their life. And so it's making them look at their life because they feel controlled by people around them and they don't like it. And so, and they're also realizing that, this love is an energy. And I know that that might sound stupid, but I feel like this person has always been taught that love with conditions, love with stuff. What this person is realizing is that they can't break that, regardless that they're terrified of it. They tell themselves they're not going to let fear get in the way, but understand what they feel is, again, that union is an energy also means that it's an energy of its own. When you think about someone and they're thinking about you, and this person on a spiritual level, they might not be very spiritual, but they can feel that there's a connection. It's because it's an undeniable connection and that they care. That doesn't mean that they're 100% evolved, but the relationship should be making them become evolved if there really is love there. And so this person, by the next, equinox, so maybe the fall equinox, this person is going to come back around. It's so they're very slow is what you may feel like. But I feel like it's because they're just not strong within themselves. It says expand your concept of what twin flame is. And a twin flame is all about healing more than it's about romance. We focus on, oh, it's the passion, that's my other half. The other half of what? There's no such thing as a half a soul. It's that you're blocked in the places that you feel that there's a half of. You might say, I'm really bad at math. I'm really bad at structure. I'm really not methodical. I'm more of a creative, where this person is very structured. And it's the survival mechanisms as a child. When children grow up in a certain environment, they get different skills. And they get different skills because it's the way that they deal with the situation at hand. The twin flame usually lived in the similar situations, similar family dynamics, I should say. Their roles might have not been the same, but they handled the situation their way. So the only way to actually heal is to be connected to someone that has similar trauma, but they don't think the way that you do, because the way that they learned how to deal and navigate life was different than you. So they are your second half, but there is no such thing as a half a person, Spirit's saying. They're afraid that this relationship is too good to be true, which, understand that twin flame connection would make you feel that way. It's like, because in the beginning, it's all about, there's like a lot of passion. Like I said, this person has that. And what they realized is, I can't control it. I tried to, but this energy I can't break. It gets stronger. It has a mind of its own. And I'm not even wanting it. But that would have to happen in order to heal trauma. People don't volunteer to go and be vulnerable and to do the things that, at one time scared them or they got trauma from. What this person, again, I don't know whether they're saying it, is that the same divine energy flows in each of us. This energy is a catalyst to our reunion. Again, it's more about the energy being like having a mind of its own, is what this person sees. They felt, like a connection to you. Words have hurt them in the past. And that's why they fear talking to you. Again, they know they're afraid you're going to be cut them down, be like that there's going to be a showdown, that you're going to stay, again, be very straightforward. And they're also and they're not good at communicating. So again, there's this claircognizance feeling where it's like it's through the heart and mind, but they need to elevate that energy. And so, what they're working through their process. They can, again, they close their eyes and they imagine that you're here with them. Again, more about the energy being a construct. Again, they're beginning to understand what it feels like to be in the 5D with you. So everything is spiritual for this person, that they're having more spiritual insight, which that's not normally their energy. They feel your energy around them again, and they wonder if you're feeling about them too. And so, and what they're realizing is, again, the spiritual energy is helping them open up their heart. Is that they've been grounded all their life, but it's hard for them to trust the spiritual element of their connection. So that's where the problem is. It's that they have trauma, because again, I've been so grounded all my life. So the way that this person thinks is not going to be like emotional. What they're saying is, wait a minute, this energy has a mind of its own. This energy, like, I'm not controlling it. This person, I know you're not controlling it because you're not reaching out to me. It's like, but I can feel your energy around me. So again, but they're grounded. So they're more logical. They're more analytical. They're more, they're trying to change the pattern and move forward. But that's not even, it's because there's a desire, there's a want, because we can't control love. It's like trying to be on a diet when you don't want to be on a diet. It's like you try and be on a diet, but you say, oh, I'm just going to buy that little bag of cookies and I just will eat like one a night. And you know that you don't, you eat like one in 5 minutes because you can't control yourself. Well, it's again, love is worse than that. This person misses you. They don't want to run away. It's like there's something that they can't control. And that's what the issue is. I see that again, that they get into their old patterns and they can't see it. But that's what a twin flame helps, a person do, by saying, I'm in fear, I'm afraid, the things that they need to heal within themselves. Again, being a twin flame means that you're ready to step it up into the best version of yourself. So this person would definitely do that if you are determined to like create something or are in the midst of creating something and you left this person behind. Well, again, that was the catalyst. I almost knocked over my incense box. So that's the thing. It's like it's making this person change. Did they volunteer to change? No, they didn't volunteer to change. They weren't looking to change. This could have went a lot differently if you would have did something else. But what we know is that this person like is realizing that this connection is something worth it. But they're going through that process. Again, feeling your energy around them, having this connection. But we have to see how they sabotage the connection. But we won't spend a lot of time on that. I don't know why I wasn't really called to focus. And that could be just because Spirit says, well, this person's going to come back. And being that they're going to come back, and if they're a twin flame, it's like, the person's like, most likely, you're like, it's one of those relationships that you're like, I know what they did. It's like, I know what they did, but I don't want to get rid of them 100% out of my life. That's why Spirit says it's not really that important. We can't go back in time. They took too many risks within the connection, so they might have talked to other people. They have a lot of anxiety when it comes to around relationships, is what Spirit is saying. And they did to focus more on the physical body because of their trauma. And it made you feel like it wasn't enough. Like whatever they gave, they didn't give enough, and kind of made you feel inadequate because they weren't giving enough, and would trigger jealousy and trust issues. because this person, like, again, like, is so afraid of rejection that they like keep the relationship in a place of imbalance. And so I feel like they manipulated a lot. It shows manipulation, and just like, it just shows me that they were afraid of the relationship and didn't really give a lot. They projected a lot. I don't even see like I don't see cheating, but I see definitely talking to other people and just not really giving you the time and the energy due to like their inner child wounds. Like, you could have had other people, but if they did, they weren't giving those people any more than they were giving you. You just felt like, hey, they weren't really giving me what what I wanted. I didn't know what the relationship was. And what it was is that this person was not used to this connection. And it would have to be a feeling type of connection, one that they couldn't control, one that couldn't be manipulated because of their trauma. That's what it said. It's like, you suggest again having relationships that are surface, here for a good time, not a long time, more connection to the physical body. They never intended to have feelings. They never dealt with their own feelings. Never mind feelings for this connection. And don't you know, that's what it's all about. It's about this person utilizing the twin flame as a catalyst to make them do their work, because they wouldn't do it otherwise. Spirit says, I don't really care whether you're going to be with this person or not. I care whether or not they, they revert back to their original energy of unconditional love, like they're fragmented. They're like, they didn't even know that, they thought that that was okay to go around having surface relationships, knowing that the people that were getting involved with them didn't want surface relationships. Then this person came across you. They thought that they were going to play you the same way that they played everyone else. Now they're scratching their head because they can't control this energy. It has a mind of its own. I wasn't planning on this. It's like, I can't control it. I've been so grounded all my life. It's like, what is this? And Spirit says, I don't care what you've been all your life. What you've been all your life, I'm going to tell you what you've been all your life. What you've been all your life is like, you've always had a looming agenda. It's always been your own, and you never created strong roots with anyone, including yourself. Here for a good time, not a long time. It's like, that's not, like, that's being shady. That's being like, again, like lying and using people. And it's not helping you, because you just go from relationship to relationship. So you're not a true person. You're a facade. You're an illusion, because what are you doing in your free time? Trying to find somebody to like, that's gonna fall for it. I mean, like, then they were coming across you. Yeah, that's what they were doing. And Spirit says, yeah, that was their pastime. That was their passion. And what they're seeing is, hey, they got a lot of people to play along. They got a lot of people before they came along to you. It's like, and what you said is, this isn't for me. And you are determined to create your own life. And that's what's happening. And you cut this person off, and they're scratching their head like, what the hell is going on here? Everybody likes me. And you're like, not today, not me. You like, your worth. That, of course, is making this person feel sheepish, because now they see your worth. They see who you are. They know that you see it. What did you have in store for me? You were going to stab me in the back? Yeah, because you didn't want to miss your chance with me. And you still don't want to miss your chance. That's why, again, you're going to come back when the equinox happens. Because you, again, seeing that I'm making something, the Spirit says, you better be grounded, you're protected, and you better trust your instincts, and then listen to the guidance. because this person is going to come back. And you got stuff happening, going on. This person doesn't want to miss their chance again. And make up to break up. Conflicts creates opportunity. And so again, you don't want your energy to go there, because this person is, I don't feel like, is ready to be in a connection. They could be a twin flame, but it's also doesn't mean that twin flames are not karmic. They are karmic. Just they come back, they're ready to do the work. It's again, but it doesn't mean, and they're ready to do the work by actually even coming back. This person wants to come back, but Spirit's saying it's like, but things are happening for you. And what this person feels like is if you move into the next phase of life, they're going to miss their chance. That's why the message, it was what it was, about being protected. And like, really, like, don't get into an argument with this person, because they're not a good communicator. They have anxiety now. And so it's again where this person tends to not really be mature, but they have a lot of passion. So remember, they can come in like a whirlwind, is what Spirit's saying, where you don't want to get caught up in any conflict right now. This person has love blocks. You might have love blocks of trust and creating. Keep your mind on the prize, is what Spirit says. This person's not going anywhere. It's like but understand this is about you setting boundaries, and not all twin flames are you meant to be with. Sometimes the person just makes you so aware and healed that you're like, but you always have the option. But I don't believe that the timing is right. I feel like this person's coming in at the wrong time. And that's what Spirit's saying is like, well, why? Why is that? Why are they coming in at the wrong time? Because I feel like there's still a sense that they like to be a loner, that they're not really ready for a relationship, that they just don't want you to move on, is what Spirit is saying. Like, so, is it really a twin flame connection? Yeah, like Spirit says, yes, it actually is. It's like, but it would be like like almost like a new start, like a new beginning, but where you're the person that's setting the boundaries, and you're setting the boundaries because you're like really in your passion, you're creating, you're determined to create for yourself. So you're not giving too much to this person. And do they have feelings for you? Yes, they do. But they kind of continually need to run after you a little bit, where maybe Spirit saying you're a little too codependent otherwise, where you have anxious attachment style and they have avoidant attachment style. So they have to, you not giving so much of your energy makes this person run to you and help you, where if you gave too much of your energy, that what you see is this person tends to get bored. They like to be free. They tend to be a loner, but they will help you. Yeah, they're gonna, like, again, Spirit says this is all about you learning to reclaim your power. You might have grown up in an environment where someone suppressed you. So Spirit saying, I need you to walk from a certain level. And this person is going to make you do it because you know who they are, not because they're going to say, hey, you need to do it. No, because you're intuitively, Spirit says, you're going to be grounded. You're going to be led through your gut. And you're that, again, get that claircognizance with the amethyst stone. You're going to get divine guidance and act from that place. Because there is actually like a spiritual contract. So this person is supposed to be in your life to help you. to help you. And so Spirit just says it's all about you, knowing that you kind of always have to pay attention with this person. And so maybe you might be the type to not to like to just get into relationships and not really pay attention. Let the other person take too much control. And Spirit says, and that's bit you in the ass a few times. So you're being asked to step into better energy. And this doesn't mean that it's an easy relationship, but what it does is it makes you step into the best version of yourself because you know who this person is. But there's unconditional love. The twin flame represents unconditional love. But it also means, hey, we have to be grounded. Only in the now do I get divine guidance, meaning I'm strong within myself. You're not going to bully me. You're not going to tell me how it's going to be. And I listen and I get divine guidance and I don't lose myself in the connection. Because Spirit's saying it teaches you balance. It teaches you. It's not a perfect relationship. Can it feel perfect sometimes? Yes. Through the passion and the chemistry and the love that's there. But it's also a hard one because it's going to trigger every single wound that you had and makes you have to think when you're like, I just want you to do it. I don't want to have to. I like to kind of take the back seat in my relationships. And then Spirit says, yeah, and then you get yell all the time that you're not respected because you have to teach a person and you're like, no, you could do it. No, you could do it. Now, this person never asked me what I want. Only sometimes. Now, they're not going to just change. You have to teach people from the beginning, and you just like to go into your old habit of what's comfortable to you. And what's comfortable for you is, hey, you weren't allowed to have an opinion growing up. You have wounds. So, hey, you just want to fall back into suit, Spirit says. And then you don't like what you create. But meanwhile, you're ready to create a better life for yourself. How do you think that happens? It doesn't just happen. There's a spiritual reason behind these difficult relationships. It's like otherwise we wouldn't volunteer to be in them. It's like no one volunteers to be in this shit. It's like, what for? It's like Spirit says, yeah, because it teaches you all about 50-50. Learning how to give and take, reciprocity, balance, fairness, second chakra, healing the second chakra through individuality. It's happening soon is what Spirit is saying, and understand this person doesn't want you to go away. You know that already. Okay, within a few days. And what Spirit is just saying, you're going to have the opportunity to either like tell this person you want to be with them or not. But either way, this is a karmic connection and this person is part of your dharma to help you heal. Dharma is your soul's path. So who helps you with your soul's path? It's sometimes bringing different energy. And it doesn't mean that they're on the full journey with you, but they're definitely coming into a time in your life that you're not just growing within your career, but you're growing and changing within yourself. And there's an alchemized process. And that whole transmutation process is, happens with passion, but it also through birthing something and birthing something with someone else. And it could be a child or it could be something. But it's like a manifestation of something. But it's all about clearing the blocks and really stepping into the best version, becoming a master of your own life. Really, that's what this relationship is about. It's not about anything else. On when we're talking about it from a spiritual perception. So that's why these relationships sometimes don't last forever and ever. But they're profound connections, and they're connections that is fire and ice. It's a fine line between love and hate. It's all about balance. It's all about passion. It's all about taking those childhood wounds and birthing something from them. And because again, this person has the energy and that you need, and vice versa, to in order to create the balance. You know, when we have wounds, we either have wounds in the masculine energy, which again is structure, is balance, is being methodical. It's kind of boring energy, you know. No offense to those of you that have a lot of that energy. It's just, you know, it's predictable. It's like, you know, where feminine energy is just more spiritual and creative, and you know, it's dreamy energy. However, you know, too much of that energy is not good. We need to be structured. We need to be have the balance of both. The energy of the universe and the energy of God is the energy of both. We need to embody those energies, and those are just character traits. The twin flame does that, comes together to again feels like whole, but not really. It's just make teaching through love, teaching through. Ooh, I was trying not to have that happen. To you know, but you have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? You're a mirror of whom what comes into your life. And so we look organized chaos. We look at your inner child wounds, guidance, innocence, oppression, magic. I like that one. And abuse. Don't like that one. All right. So abuse can be psychological, it can be an emotional, but I feel like it was psychological and emotional. And the reason why is because oppressed. So you might have had certain ideas as a child, wanted to become an astronaut, wanted to but become a certain thing, and parents said, no, you will not. The way that you dressed, the way that you wore your hair, the way that you spoke, everything was really shaped, and usually is shaped by our parents. But when it's done to the to an abusive standard, you know, to the point that it's psychologically does that, what happens is that we detach. It robs us of our innocence, right? Because who do we look up to? Where do we get guidance from? We get guidance from our parents. We get guidance from the same people that are oppressing us, the same people that that are abusing us, that aren't really telling us that are safe. So it doesn't mean that, and understand our parents did the best that they could do. It's not a blame game, but we have to understand, where did the wound come from? And the reason why is because you have healing homework. And you wouldn't do that healing homework to actually transmute that negative energy unless you said, well, that's true, you know? So again, being around an abusive parent could be just an angry parent, someone that just pushed their opinions and judged you. You felt judged. You felt, again, like the guidance, there wasn't any of it because it was what they wanted you to do. So otherwise it was chaotic. So you couldn't run away as a kid. You're dependent on your parents, right? I mean, that's just the fact of it. So what happens is we detach, we disassociate. So in the child that survives, thrives, they get psychic ability, they get the magic. And the magic is that it's like, because in the imagination, the child can't run away. They, like I said, they detach, they dissociate. They're not going to remember everything, every detail that happened. So there's usually is healing, obviously, when the transmutation process is that birthing of something, like we said. So spirit says we can see why that abuse, and why, because hey, if you grow up in a certain environment where you're oppressed, what's going to make you then live from not the best version of yourself, the most confident version of yourself, where this relationship is making you turn into the best version of yourself, because you say, I have passion for you, but I know exactly who you are. And I have unconditional love for you. I can't control how I feel. And so you may not be in my life as a lover, but you'll be in my life somehow, because, you just have unconditional love for that person. But you get to choose, is what Spirit's saying, where that's usually you're on the other end of that stick. And Spirit says, but you need to still transmute negative energy by taking bold action. It's like, and because you're still creating, we're not leaving what we're doing behind. We're never abandoning ourselves, Spirit's saying. So it's time for you to focus more again on what you're doing, because you have deep wisdom and you take deep wisdom to create, and also on how to handle this situation. So you're getting balance. It's not one or the other, like, well, I can have a career, but I can have this, or I can't have this person. It's Spirit says it's more focused on what you're doing by being grounded, listening to your gut, and you'll get the divine guidance on how to deal with this person along with relationship. That's the faith walk. Spirit says, don't do my job, do your job. Everything happens in divine time. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't, again, focus on this person. Focus on what you're doing, Spirit's saying, because there's infinite possibilities for you. And yes, this person's going to help you get there. It's all about the grand journey right now. It's that you're creating a new life. And when we create a new life, we change the energetic template, in which the experiences that we've went through that created certain habits and behaviorisms. Now the twin flame comes in to help you transmute certain wounds, to teach you, to help balance you. But it doesn't mean that they're balanced either. They need your energy to help balance them also. And through the unconditional love. And Spirit says it's just time that you just acknowledge what you have overcome, and to know that you're a strong person. Oh, there was one that was stuck to it, and that you may feel, no, we read that one already. That was from a different deck. And we end off with one more. I know, because the two different decks. But the empowered soul, and we end off with one more, which is wisdom. God has a plan for you. Live here now, knowing beauty is to come. Don't force things to happen faster than the universe has decided, divine timing. Learn from your experiences, which you did because you have deep wisdom. Take small steps in faith. Again, you'll be grounded. And understand that you're going to succeed. Like with all the effort that you put in, that there's infinite possibilities. It's like, but you learn the wisdom already that you can actually have both. Now, you might have grown up in an environment where you're like, I can either have love, or I can have a job, or I can have one or the other, or I really can't have it. Spirit says you have to change your mind of what twin flame actually means. It's a hard relationship, but it's also a relationship that changes you, that makes you become that person. And there is unconditional love. Our idea of what unconditional love is usually a lot of things which we didn't get in childhood. Well, that, I didn't get a parent that nurtured me, that loved me, and I needed that, and I needed to be encouraged, and I needed, where Spirit says that person may not do those things either. If anything, they're going to trigger those wants and those needs where you're like, the person didn't show up. And Spirit says, yeah, so you can heal them and realize you don't need that person. It's that you can do it yourself, but are they going to love you the way that they know how? That's completely blows your mind. And yes, it's just a way that you didn't know. Is it fulfilling? Yes. But can they trigger you? Yeah. I mean, Spirit makes sure that there's a lot of passion there. We wouldn't stick around to heal what needs to be healed, because What needs to be healed are childhood wounds that we've held on to. We think that they're part of our identity subconsciously. So it's only that twin flame. And so what I see here is the runner becomes the chaser because the energy has a mind of its own. And again, you're stepping into infinite possibilities. And this person is saying, I don't want to miss my chance. But they may not come back the way that you want. They probably won't come back the way that you want. Because again, the twin flame, you think, well, they're going to tell me how much they love me and sweep me off my feet. And Spirit says, no, no. You didn't get that one, the prince on the white horse or the princess that's, sleeping in the box. You got the IKEA brand. Yeah, you got to put it together yourself. Yeah, like that's the one that you got. Why did I get that one? And Spirit says, because you have to do those to heal yourself, and you wouldn't volunteer to do that. It's like, and you wouldn't know how to heal it. So you got this kind. I don't really like that kind. Well, you think that what kind's good looking. There's a lot of passion there. Yeah, but why is it so hard? Why can't it be look this way? And Spirit says you don't have control. You're learning what unconditional love is. When you grew up in an environment that taught you that love was conditional, that expectation or unconditional love, there is no expectation. There is no ownership. It just is. It makes you, again, step into the best version of yourself. I'm going to leave that there. Again, don't forget, if you have 3 stones, you want to wear them. The obsidian, the citrine, and the amethyst. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.